for coming. I'm so happy that you took the time to be here because I know there are awesome talks going on. So my name is Lieke, pronouns she, her. I am the manager higher education at GitHub, and I'm going to talk to you about taking over a developer program. I think that a lot of talks that you see right now are about how to set up a program from scratch or what kind of programs exist. So I was really excited to share with you my experience, and I hope it's valuable to you on what happened with me the last 11 months. So this is what I'll be talking about the next 20 minutes. So briefly about GitHub Education and GitHub Campus Experts, so you have a background idea on that. And then I will go into how to take over the program, so what to focus on first, and also the best parts, in my opinion. And then I share my biggest lesson, so I keep it a secret for now. And I have a bonus slide, so this may or may not have dog pictures, because I have some friends here, not calling names, who said they would only be here if I put dog pictures in my slides. So who knows? Who knows? So a little bit about GitHub Education. GitHub Education helps students, teachers, and schools access tools and events they need to shape the next generation of software development. Well, that sounds like one big sentence. So what we do is we have programs for teachers, we have programs for schools, and we have programs for students, like the GitHub Campus Expert program. And this is a picture of me with Campus Experts at GitHub Universe last month in San Francisco. And I chose this picture because one of those Campus Experts, Alex, who is also here, will be speaking today at 2:30, and I'm really proud. So check it out if you can. If you want to have more information on what we do, you can go to education.github.com. And then about the program, it's the most important part. So GitHub Campus Experts is for student community leaders, and we help students build a community on their campus or grow a community on their campus. And we do that by having them apply for the program. And once they apply for the program, we give them training on different kinds of topics. So it can be technical writing or content writing, public speaking, how to create a workshop, software development skills, and also about community management. And my favorite module is when they have to write the inclusion analysis. So they have to think about how inclusive their community is, and also what they can do to improve their community and to make it more inclusive. And I think it's very important to already work on those skills this period when they're still in college or university. So it went really well. We have over 150 campus experts. Around 20 countries are represented now, so it's very global. And I think this is one of our highlights last year. It was in November. It was the day before DevRelCon, and we had the DevRel Awards, so they're tonight again, I think, today, yeah. And we won the award for most welcoming developer community, and it was great. And I think I wrote this tweet, actually, as well. And Joe is on this picture. Joe accepted the award. Who doesn't know Joe Nash? That's what I mean. So great, Joe. And it was, I think, a highlight for our program. And then what happened is Joe left in January. And the program got kind of dropped into my lap. So now you take over, which is, well, this was what I felt. I was like, oh my God, but I am not Joe. Joe took the program 3 years ago, I guess. He is the face of the program. He onboarded all of the campus experts. So if you said campus expert, you said Joe Nash. That's just how it was. So I felt very intimidated. And I think this might be something that you might feel as well if you take over a program from your former colleague that's already very successful. Like, how are you going to do that? So the first step I took is, I think it's very important, is to gain trust of the community. So when you have a community that's relatively new to you and that doesn't know you, it's so important to have trust because you're there to support them. And if they don't trust you with their requests or anything that's going on, it's very difficult to manage. So gaining trust of the community, and I can advise you to just get involved, get out there. I don't know what you need, what you use as platforms, so we use Slack. I can never talk about if that's most convenient or not, but we use Slack at this moment, and we have all the campus experts on there. So what I did is just send a message like, hey, I'm new, share a bit about my hobbies, what I did, who I was. Get to know the members as well of your community. So I went through their training just to check what communities they represented and what they've done in the past. And also take some time to get them to know you. is also something that's often forgotten, but it's really important to have that going from both ways. And be patient. Like Rome wasn't built in a day. It's the same with any relationship. Trust is not there from the first day, or at least I never experienced that. So it takes time, and it's okay. But a community without trust is very difficult to manage. The other thing is picking up the program in flight, right? It was going awesome. We have applications coming in, folks are in training, and we have campus experts. And then from one day or another, you're responsible for the program. And that happens also with your program, that you're going to take over, or that you're already taking over. So the best advice I can give you on that is to just get involved. Just share your opinions, or respond to messages, get your face out there, so they get to know you again. Read as much documentation as you can, if it's there. So about the program, the background, the values, the goals, and also take time to get familiar to the processes. So how does the application process work? How do you need to review your students or your community members? Can be any audience. And be honest with your community. This is like something that really helped me. So I shared with my community, like, hey, I'm new, please bear with me while I get up to speed. And I could not believe the messages I got. It was really great. There was so much support coming from the community. And it was really awesome. So most important, also keep on breathing. Like, it's completely fine to not be perfect the first day, or the first week, or the first couple of weeks even. Just take your time. Get familiar with all of the processes that are there, and the community will not blame you. If it's a good community, they will definitely not blame you for that. So these two parts are important to do, and they are also maybe most stressful or most anxious in the beginning. And then there actually are very good parts about taking over a program that's already there. I call them the best parts because it's actually very cool that it's already working. It's awesome, everything's running. You don't have to worry about promoting it to get more people to join. It's already there. So that means you can look at it from above, and you can view everything that's happening. You can see the processes, and you can go and check what you want to improve or want to do better or different. So, and you can improve it because you're now managing the program, so it's all up to you. And that's something that I underestimated, and it's like really nice to do. So what you can do, for example, in our case, there was no track of budget. So there was a budget, but there was not really any information on what was happening with it. So in order to have the program scale, so you want to have more campus experts going, but the budget stayed the same, we needed to introduce some budget tracking and some sponsorship guidelines. Because we wanted to avoid that in the beginning of a fiscal year, we would give funding to all of our campus experts, and then there would be new campus experts joining, and there would be no funding left at the end. So to give everyone equal opportunities and equal experiences, we introduced some sponsorship guidelines. So now every campus expert has a budget or a maximum amount that they can request every 2 months. And that's working very well. I'm really happy to see the result of that. They are very considerate now with the money they're asking for, and that's really good to see. Like, they already have to think about their budget and what is very valuable to them to ask from us, and they will not rely on us as the sole sponsor. And that's something we try to give them as a lesson. Like, if you want to continue with organizing hackathons or events, it's so important to already have this experience. So I'm really happy to see that. And then lastly, a lot of talks are already about metrics in these days, which are awesome, so I keep this short. Now we're working on implementing metrics, so it's nice to know what the impact is of your program. What's the impact on campus experts? What's the impact in their region? What's the impact on their campus? So what we're trying to do now is to, for example, see if a campus expert starts at a campus, what does that mean? Do we get more new users to GitHub, or do we have more applications to the GitHub Student Developer Pack? That's currently work in progress, but it is important to know how impactful your program is. And then this might sound a bit strange, but you might not think about leaving. But just in case, you will leave at one day, I can tell you. So there will be a day that you leave, and it's so important to have documentation in place. I think yesterday there was a quote that somebody said documentation is like writing a love letter to your future self. Well, I can definitely say that that's true. It really helps to have everything in place. So in the case that you're leaving, you don't have to write everything down in 3 days. So create an onboarding plan, even if you did not want to have one yourself. I had one. I had a great onboarding issue. Thank you, Joe. So it's not what you expected me to say, but I had a great onboarding issue. And what I did was I just added information while I was running the program that I thought was important, like what kind of tools do you need access to, where can you find everything. So now there's a really great, in my opinion, onboarding plan for my successor, and I can recommend you to just document everything. It's better to have too much documentation than nothing at all. So just a quick summary of what I shared with you. So I think the first things you can start on that's important is to gain trust of your community. And it's also just to get involved. And it might be scary, but you can definitely do it. And there are awesome things that you can do, because you can improve the program after that. You can look at things you want to change. The program is basically yours, because you're running it. And then also think about setting it up for continuous success. So if you leave, what happens to the program, and make sure that it's like easy to offboard it to someone else. And then I share you my biggest personal lesson with you. It's very personal, but don't underestimate yourself. Like, there's no need to be Joe. Sorry, Joe. But there's no need to be Joe. You bring your own expertise, your own skills, your own talent. And I remember in the beginning, I would tell my manager, like, oh, but I just have to be more like him. I have to be more like him. And she was like, no. And she was very Dutch direct with me, even though she's American. But I really appreciated that. And during these 11 months, that's something I learned. Like, you bring in your own vision, and it's so important for a program to have fresh opinions, fresh expertise, fresh talent coming in. So don't underestimate yourself. Someone might have set up the program for success, but it needs you to grow, to improve, and to survive. And you're capable of much more than you think. So there's also a reason that your manager or your team dropped it into your lap, right? It's because they believe that you can do it. So also believe in yourself. That's like the biggest piece of advice I can give you. So that's what I wanted to share with you. I felt I did this very much quicker than I thought. Anyway, I have my bonus slide here. So my friends can leave happy. It's my dog of 1.5 years. And well, yeah, that was it. So thank you so much for coming. And I also want to thank the campus experts, now I can, for all their support. And if there's something you felt like that was really important for you to know and I did not share, please just find me after this talk, and I will definitely hopefully explain everything to you. Yeah, that's it. So thank you.